Welcome back. It's Monday, and we're back with your weekly kickoff. Before we dive into this week's full episode, we want to set the tone for the week because let's be real, it can be so easy to just get through the week and end up in a place we didn't intend to be, just by drifting through it because the schedules, everything that comes our way, our calendars are so full. It's so easy to get caught up before it even begins.
Yeah, emails, work, deadlines, kids, you name it. The clock starts ticking really fast on Monday. After what seemed like a very short weekend, even though we had a couple days, yeah, it flew by. But the question we're throwing your way today is this. Are you living by the clock or by your compass?
The weekends always seem to fly by, man. It's crazy.
Man, I do. I had a 3-day and it's flew by.
You could have a 5-day weekend and it feels
You're
like it flies by. That question that you brought up, man, is so powerful, though. It's one that keeps you from reacting. It's if you're living by the clock, you are constantly reacting, in my opinion. But if you're living by that compass, then you're actually aligned with your goals, with your values, with your vision, with your identity. But that's so understandably easy to slip back into or allow to happen just because the dynamic of the way life is and just schedules are. But if you don't stop and check yourself, you can really sprint through that week and end up in the wrong place unintentionally.
Happens all the time. Before we get into that, though, let's go ahead and do the verse of the week. So we're going to be focused on Proverbs 4:26 this week. Ponder the path of your feet, then all of your ways will be sure. And this one kind of has been sitting with us all week, Paul. It's a real affirmation of what you and I are going through right now. You know, we're giving careful thought to our path, where we're headed with Brotherhood Forged, stepping away from another thing that we've been doing for several years, not out of rebellion, not out of being mad or animosity, but just out of conviction and clarity of where we want to go. I think we're choosing to walk a path that requires courage. At least that's how I feel. It definitely requires courage and some, just following dreams, to build something new, to serve others boldly, and to be forged into what God is really calling us to become. This verse to me is God's way of saying, stay focused, boys. Stay grounded. You've sought my will, which we have. Now walk with the steadfast faith.
Incredible reflection, man. It's thinking about really pausing and pondering before you take that next step and really understanding, hey, am I aligned with where I want to go? Is this taking me where I want to go? Do I think this is the way for me to have the biggest impact, to step into my full potential? Or is this the one that's the safer route where it's like I'm inside my comfort zone, I can do this thing, it's manageable. But we talked about many times, getting outside of your comfort zone is where that real potential and possibility can happen. And if you don't check your direction before you check your speed, one small miscalculated step compounded over time can land you drastically off your course. Darren Hardy talks about this in the compound effect, and it's so real. And it can be so minor and something that you don't really even think about. But is it truly taking you to where you want to be aligned to and the goals that you have, the vision that you have? So remember to always pause and check your compass. Are your habits carrying you in the direction that you want to intentionally go?
You mentioned Darren Hardy, and I think of the airplane analogy. If you're 1 degree off,
Yep.
you start in California, you end up, you're, I don't remember the exact how it ends, but you're way off track when you actually go across the country.
Yep.
Not even close to your original destination, 1 degree. So as you mentioned, you got to be aligned. You got to know where you're headed. You and I, we know where we're headed. We at least know we have a real good vision of where we want to get. Of course, it's going to change. It's going to evolve. But it's exciting, man. And intentionally, these Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday episodes will be short because we're going to just try to keep content coming all the time. How would you describe it, Paul?
More like little brief check-ins.
Yeah.
Because there's so many podcasts out there. There's so much stuff like we talk about in your schedule, in your day. And I think the design that we want to have with these is we all understand that if you can carve out 15, 20 minutes of space for yourself every day, then you're doing pretty good at protecting your energy. And this is one of those things that we hope that can fit into that time for you. And understand that we all don't have a whole lot of time for individually for ourselves for that stuff. So we don't want to be on here too long. We want to give you just enough powerful content, in our opinion, that we think can help move the needle for you, but not too long that you feel like it takes up your entire day to get through it.
Well put. It's always a little stumbling for words this morning. We are doing these at 5 a.m. We're on a new schedule. We're very regimented now, so we're meeting at 5 a.m. on a couple days a week. We're doing the recordings, and it's going to be very helpful for both Paul and I. So, yeah, that's the plan. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. 5 to 10 minute short episodes, and then 30 will be the full episode on Wednesday, 30 minutes. But the max effort, I'm tongue-tied this morning, max effort mindset today, or of the week, I should say. In the gym, we talk about progressive overload. Now, I'm not as big as Paul or strong as Paul, so it's a concept some of you guys who do a little more time in the gym might be more familiar with, but Paul and I talked about this before. But it's small intentional reps that lead to massive gains. Like I said, I've seen it, but mostly in other people.
But you still see it too, man. It's just
Yeah. It's a little different.
it's not always about the weight, man. It's the progressive overload of it. That means you could just do more reps of the same weight, or you could potentially do more weight, obviously, too. But it's just doing more, stepping a little bit further out of the comfort zone, loading up a little more overload on yourself, and just manageably hitting it. Not throwing as much weight as you can on that bar and failing. It's a matter of taking it smart, taking it one step at a time, really auditing the direction you're going. Hey, life's no different. You don't build a 2.0 version of yourself with hype alone. You build it with alignment, with that compass. One rep at a time. Every choice is a rep. Whether that be a yes or a no, it's shaping who you're becoming. And like we said before, every yes that you have by default ends up being a no to something else. So make sure you're not just saying yes to everything. Make sure you're really being intentional how you're spending your time.
That's good, bro. And I'd say what we're kind of trying to say is don't let your calendar control your life. It's your compass. As we talked about, being sure of where you're going, let that guide your choices. The calendar is going to show what's urgent, but your compass reveals what's important. Like I said, we're really focused on that right now. One fills your day, and the other one shapes your legacy.
Good way to put it, man. All right, so here's the challenge. At 3 moments today, whether anytime throughout the day, stop and ask yourself, am I living by the clock or by my compass?
I'd say if you're just reaching, take a deep breath and pause. If you're saying yes out of guilt, definitely say pause, think that through. And if you're drifting, realign, figure out where you're going.
Absolutely. Bonus for you guys, write down one non-negotiable that proves that you're walking the talk this week. Just one. Don't overload it too much. Think about one extra rep on that bar. Maybe it's a dinner with phone free. Maybe it's no snooze, whatever that looks like for you. Whatever lines up with your 2.0 identity, lock that in and keep taking action.
You talk about non-negotiables. That's one of my favorite things. I like reading somewhere I learned I call them standards. It's just what you do. It's just who you are. So make those non-negotiable standards, whatever you wish to, however you want to phrase them, make those things you have to do, because you don't need to overhaul your life by this Friday or even by next Friday, but you do need to take a step in the right direction. And you absolutely have to start with intention, even if it's just one incremental daily step.
Compound effect again, where Darren talks about you could set your clock by his dad's workout routine at 6 a.m. He was in the garage no matter what, every single day. Compound this. I love that. So you say it's the non-negotiables that become your standard that people come to know you by. It's how reliable are you in those moments. So clock or compass, that's the question. Let it guide you this week, and we'll catch you in the full episode coming Wednesday. We'll see you Tuesday for another brief, and we'll just keep coming with more and more stuff. So just keep thinking vision into action. Take action no matter what it looks like in that right direction, align with your compass rather than just the clock.
Appreciate you all. Be blessed.
See you guys.